Our Tennessee State Standard today, we are still solving linear equations with rational number coefficients, including equations whose solutions require expanding expressions using the distributive property and collecting like terms. Your lesson objective that you need to write down, I can or I am learning to apply the distributive property to rewrite algebraic expressions. Distribution time. Well, I guess you'll find out what this means tomorrow in class. All right, to use the distributive property, I want you to draw a picture of the algebra tiles you would use to model x plus 2. So I would use, let's see if I can do green. X, and then plus 2 would be yellow. Let's make it this color so you can see better. X, so that says x plus 2. Now, what if I wanted to draw a picture of the algebra tiles I would use to model 3 sets of x plus 2? Well, I would go back. X plus 2. Ooh, that didn't look too good, did it? Let's go back on that one. There's one set of x plus 2. Here's another set of x plus 2. And then we have a final or a third set of x plus 2. So we actually have 1, 2, 3 x's, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ones. So 3 distributed by multiplication to the x and to the 2, we will see on the next page. We're really, if you box in your terms, you can see what you're doing here. We're saying 3 times x, and we're saying 3 times 2. We're distributing the 3 to both terms inside the parentheses. So 3 times x is 3x, and 3 times positive 2 is positive 6. And you do have to have that positive because it becomes your addition separator for your expression. All right, vocabulary. The distributive property enables us to simplify expressions that have an expression being multiplied by a single term, so that we don't have to write down x plus 2 plus x plus 2 plus x plus 2. All right, general algebra, we use the terms A distributed to b plus c would be a, b. Let's box in those terms. A times b is ab. A times positive c is positive ac. Using numbers, 3 times x is 3x. 3 times positive 3 is positive 9. Now, you can also, because of the commutative property, you can have your term behind the parentheses. If it makes more sense to you to put it in front, the commutative property says that you can do that. But if you don't, you still are multiplying a times b to get ab, and a times positive c to get positive ac. So this would be 5 times 4, which is 20, and 5 times positive 2n would be positive 10n. We can also distribute it when we have subtraction inside of the parentheses. We're still going to do the same thing. A times B is AB, but A times negative C would be negative AC. So an example, 2 times 3B, 2 times 3 is 6B. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8C. And in the same way, if the term that you're going to distribute comes after A times B is AB, positive A times negative C is negative AC. In the example, because sometimes it's easier to see with numbers, 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times negative 2 is a negative 6x. Can you calculate 7 times 48 mentally? Well, if you use the distributive property, then it can be done pretty easily. 7 times 48 is the same thing as 7 times 40 plus 8, which is 7 times 40 plus 7 times 8. 7 times 40 is 280. 7 times 8 is 56, and 280 plus 56 equals 336. And you need to pause the video and write that down. All right, so let's do some expressions. Now, note, these are expressions. There are no equal signs, so they're not equations, and we will not be solving. We will be simplifying or writing them in Lewis terms. Box in your terms inside the parentheses. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times positive 7 is positive 28. This says times 4, so 4 times 3x is 12x. 4 times negative 7 is negative 28. 6 times p, or 6 times 1p, is 6p. 6 times negative 5 is negative 30. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 8 is positive 16. Last one, box in your terms. 7 times 9 is 63. 7 times negative 2x is negative 14x. More examples. 6 times a is 6a. 6 times positive 4 is positive 24. 8 times n is 8n. 8 times positive 3 is positive 24. Three times y is 3y. 3 times negative 10 is negative 30. Negative 7 times w is negative 7w. And negative 7 times negative 4 is positive 28.